Ladies and gentlemen, today we observe Black April, a day of profound solemnity for the Vietnamese community and the City of Westminster.
Today we bow our heads for the fallen and honor the survivors who rebuilt their lives here in freedom. In their memory, we renew our solemn promise: we will never forget.
We remember April 30th, not to dwell in sorrow, but because memory is an act of honor. And today, we owe that honor to the generation that carried us here.
The fall of Saigon and South Vietnam happened on April 30th, 1975. And here in Westminster, there's a special ceremony being held to remember this historic day, also known as Black April.
I am honored to stand here today with you as we remember the freedom lost and the lives forever changed. Since 2019, Westminster has led the nation as the first city to formally commemorate this day. Here in the United States, especially in Westminster, Vietnamese Americans have rebuilt their life with hard work, dignity, and unwavering determination.
And the death toll was profound. It is estimated 250,000 South Vietnamese soldiers and nearly 60,000 American soldiers died during the Vietnam War.
This is really important to the community. Westminster has really become a hub for South Vietnamese refugees, and it's been 51 years since the fall of Saigon. We have about 40% Vietnamese who live here, and worldwide this is really the largest population of South Vietnamese or Vietnamese people per capita outside of Vietnam.
Ladies and gentlemen, through the pains remain with us, resilience and perseverance have always been the strength of the Vietnamese refugee community, one of the most dynamic and successful communities in the world.
I personally lived under the communist regime for 5 years. I know how it is, how it affects people there, and we want to make sure that we have the freedom of Vietnam. And so we are here to commemorate, to remember those sacrifices. So we are all forever in debt, remember them for their sacrifices. We also want to make sure that for the younger people, for younger generation, and for us to remember who have fought the war in Vietnam and came back here.
And the younger generation is part of this community event.
Tuổi 14, tuổi mà con đang hưởng những tháng hồn nhiên nhất của tuổi học trò. Trong khi đó, rất nhiều năm về trước, cũng 14 tuổi.
So students have spent the past 9 months working on an oral history project, interviewing their parents for 1 hour in Vietnamese, writing a 4 to 5 page essay, totally in Vietnamese, and today they will be sharing an excerpt of their stories and their reflections on community identity.
So today me and my peers are going to just share a little bit about our stories and our grandparents, our parents, our ancestors' journeys on their path to finding freedom. And it's also a really great opportunity for me to learn more about my parents and get closer with them as well.
Nhân buổi tưởng niệm 30 tháng 4 này, chúng con đã làm một dự án phỏng vấn ba mẹ và ông bà về hành trình tìm tự do của họ.
A few of us are retelling the stories of our grandparents and our parents. For me, I'm retelling my grandma's story about how the difficulties she had to come over here and how she basically rebuilt her life. To me, before the project, I wasn't really close to my grandma, so I found this as a way to basically get closer to her, to understand her story, and to understand her perspective.
As an American-born, proud daughter of Vietnamese refugees, this event always brings some heavy emotions, and with that, I always remember why we're here and what we are commemorating, what we're honoring, the people who've made their sacrifices for people like me to be able to succeed, like all of us to succeed.
It's not just a moment to mourn those who are lost, but it's a celebration of resiliency. And the South Vietnamese refugees who've come here and the Vietnamese people have come here to build their lives, they are all here, remembering those who've been lost, but also celebrating the accomplishments, the achievements, the resilience as Vietnamese people here and the things that we've built here in Westminster.
We have built our lives in this great country that have given us an opportunity for freedom and democracy.
When Saigon fell, an entire people lost everything at once. Their homeland, their identity, and in many cases, family members they had to leave behind.
It's a somber event here in our city of Westminster that for me, we need to continue this to make sure that we teach our younger generation the history of what happened in Vietnam, and also to honor the fallen that have lost their lives in the search for freedom and democracy. So it's a really important day for us here in the city of Westminster.
And as part of this event, there is a wreath ceremony. Every year, the city flies the South Vietnamese flag at half-staff at the Vietnamese American War Memorial at Sid Goldstein Freedom Park. Reporting in Westminster, I'm Jacqueline Twegg.